And I see that all the time for first time buyers where they're not thinking about that, and especially if they're coming in planning on, hey, I want to run it, myself for a while. Well, that's fine. Like if you want to buy a laundromat and you want to be the one to clean it, that's totally fine. But you still should evaluate it as if you're paying yourself as the attendant, because you are the attendant.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you want to pay yourself a check.
Yeah.
It's just which side of the accounting box you really want to be on. So then I sit down and I look at the cash flow from the business, and then I will sit down with the buyer and find out what the buyer wants to do and how they want to go, and we try to price it along the lines of about a 20% return, 20 to 25, and see if the buyer will take it or the seller will take it. Now, in most cases here, unfortunately, in California, you don't really have a lot of co-operating brokers cooperating with each other. And you certainly don't have an MLS where you can actually go out and see a listing that's available and call on it. And if it's available, go and take your client to it and then write an offer on it. So it's a little bit different here. But for the most part, I think that the broker's responsibility as a broker is to guide the buyer through the entire process, and that is even after you have a deal. What happens after an acceptance? What am I looking for? So you get an offer and acceptance, and you go back and forth on a price, and you go back and forth on terms, and you settle on all that. You've got let's just say you got a lease assignment in there, and you also have financing as a contingency. What does escrow do? Who's responsible for what in this area? You've done all your due diligence. You've done your utilities. You made sure that all the expenses were correct. And the only thing that you don't really know about is the volume of the store. And anymore today, you try to get either bank statements or collection reports or actually tax returns. And the hardest part is getting the tax returns to match up, because everybody's creative on how they write off their businesses. And it doesn't matter.